So, the first song today. What are we going to be talking about for the first song, Angela?
Well, the first song is by Dan Mangan, and it's called Troubled Mind. And I thought it was very interesting, Mark, that Adam's song is called, oh, darn it, what is Adam's song called?
Yes, that's what it's called.
What's our song called?
I've got to bring my notes up. I've listened to it 1,000 times this week. It is Troubled Mind.
Welcome to it's welcome.
Oh, Adams. Sorry, Adams. Yeah, sorry. Welcome to the Madhouse. Sorry, I'm thinking of Dan.
I'm getting Madhouse. Before I forget again.
We're getting.
But I thought it was interesting that we both picked songs that were about troubled mind.
It wasn't coincidental. It was not. It was not coincidental. In fact, Angela, you said that you wanted to do Troubled Mind because we're perfect for Halloween, and then I thought I know the perfect song for Halloween, so it was actually your choice that inspired mine.
Okay, I thought it was totally by accident.
It wasn't by accident at all.
Also,
no.
The other thing that was interesting is Dan Mangan is originally he's a folk artist. His music is branched off much from folk. He's not totally folk anymore. He's really experimented and does a lot of great stuff now, besides folk, I mean. So, but the thing was that Adam and the Hellcats are a rock band, but I found that both songs sounded like 80s new wave. Did you hear any of that? Did you catch any 80s new wave when you were listening?
Not on the Adam and the Hellcats one, but yeah, definitely there was definitely something retro about Dan's stuff. Now, having said that, I've been listening to Adam and the Hellcats for a while, so it's not it's not quite as fresh to me as it is to you, just because I already loved the Welcome to the Madhouse before the news went out that they were even re-recording it a little. And
I recommend you re-listen to Welcome to the Madhouse with new ears, because I hear some retro in that as well. Anyway, let's ask Alexa, who is Dan Mangan?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
She doesn't always work. Alexa, who is Dan Mangan?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, didn't we test this before the show and she was fine?
Yes, we did. We'll test it with Adam and the Hellcats a little later as well. So we'll.
Yeah. Anyway, the Troubled Mind song. It was released a couple of years ago, actually, and Dan himself has expressed that he was feeling, he was feeling terrible about the state of the world a couple of years ago, feeling frustrated by it all, as a lot of us were, I think. He's actually recently just published a song called There's a Tumor in the White House. He did that just last week, published that song, There's a Tumor in the White House. So I think we know where he stands politically.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty brave, given that he, he's a Canadian artist and they all want to travel through the US. And so he stated his feelings quite clearly, and
right.
might be a problem for him in the future. But the Troubled Mind song, like I said, I really found it was a little retro, a little 80s new wave, which is a departure from the other stuff that he does. The video is a lot of fun, and I really liked the song. I thought it was really entertaining. The more I listened to it, the more I liked it, actually. And I'm not sure what to tell you. I want to tell you about Dan. So let's try Alexa just one more time. Alexa, who is Dan Mangan?
According to Wikipedia, Daniel Mangan is a Vancouver-based Canadian musician. He has also been a contributing writer for The Guardian's art section, Monte Cristo magazine, and Huffington Post Canada, and has won 2 Juno Awards. In 2003, at 20 years old, Mangan completed his first set of recordings, an EP of simply recorded acoustic songs called All at Once.
So there you have it. As Alexa said, Dan is also an author. And that comes through very clearly in his songwriting skills. He's very good at storytelling, which explains his original folk roots. That was his first choice because you can tell stories when you write folk music. He has won 2 Juno Awards, but he's also been nominated for 2 Juno Awards. He's won 2 Polaris Prizes, and he's won a Canadian Music Award too, I believe. Okay. So he's been very recognized in the Canadian scene as a songwriter. And this particular song, Troubled Mind, I thought was a bit of a departure from the other stuff that he does. It actually had a different sound to it, and that's what brought it to my attention, as well as the fact that we're doing a Halloween theme, and I just thought it would be fun to talk about troubled minds during Halloween.
Okay, let's have a little clip. We are tied to very short clips just because of the copyright algorithms are going to shut us down. But we got a 20-second clip of each of the songs just to kind of give you a feel if you haven't listened to them already. So here we go.
What the hell is wrong with everybody right now? Everywhere I look, it's the same sound. Haunted by the melody, haunted by the melody. Sometimes it gets ahead of me. Ahead of my mind, it gets ahead of me. Gets ahead of me, haunted by the melody.
Well, there you go. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Sorry about that. So that was the Halloween Gremlins. I was too busy opening up, looking at my notes ahead of time. So sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so I made the mistake, as I'm sure anyone else that was did with the song as well. I'm sure many people did. Watch the video and tried to make sense of the song. And though the video completely jarred me, I'm like, what's this about? So I ended up having to. Fortunately, in the video, the lyrics were already there, so I scrolled up so I couldn't see the video and listened to it a couple more times, so I could judge it. Just a little bit less distracted. Like I said, there was something retro about it. I couldn't put my finger on it. It did sound definitely something experimental, and it did kind of confuse me with the upbeats. Because it has that nice shuffle on the drums. Sounds like a nice song, a nice happy song there for a few bars, and then the lyrics come in, and then you've got the keyboards that just kind of bring it down, and you think, oh, this is something a bit more serious. So there's a lot of emotion just in diverting my expectations, because I was expecting something else. But I did actually find it kind of catchy. It's not sing-song catchy. It's not like I could. I know I've got the lyrics in front of me. It's not like I could sing the song, but it stuck in my head. And I particularly didn't help me listening to it 10 times in a row. But it was definitely something. Yeah. So it was. I think it really came across as original. My original thoughts were. It came across as an original piece, and my thoughts towards the repetitious lyrics was like, well, this should be getting boring, but it really kind of doesn't. And I'm just going to give you an idea of how much, did I pull those? Let me just pull up the lyrics for that song. There's a verse I wanted to read out, just to show you just how repetitious it is. Here we go. So just towards the end, haunted by the melody, haunted by the melody. Sometimes it gets ahead of me, ahead of my mind. It gets ahead of me, gets ahead of me. That's actually, obviously, there's no story in this song other than it's all a lot of emotion. And as the song gets going, it gets really quite chaotic. The instrumentation just seems to get a little loud, just a little bit of, I don't know if distortion is the right word, but it kind of all works together for that rush. Everything's happening, and you kind of got that feeling of, a good video would have been having someone standing still in the middle of a boulevard for a busy road, and then just watching time lapse as the cars whiz by. That's kind of what I felt, and I think I would definitely feel the emotions that he was obviously trying to catch out. Now, when I went back to watch the video, what was amusing was that he says in the description to the video that the video was intentionally the opposite of what the song was about. So you wanted to see what the reaction was. So that's kind of interesting as well. I think now I'm familiar with the song. I think they both work very well together. It was just that Just that, but it just didn't seem to work initially. So those are my my first thoughts. Did you have any further thoughts on that?
No, I agree with what you said. I just, like I said, the song is a bit of a departure from the other work that Dan does. I found it a little different, not entirely, but a little different. There usually is a little more story in Dan's song. He is recognized very much as a songwriter, and he does tell stories. And in this song, of course, that tends to be what appeals to me, is a song that has a lot of feeling and a lot of percussion, and maybe a little less story. Maybe I like to make the story up in my own head. I guess maybe that's why. But I would be interested to hear what other people have to say about it.
Yeah. So just looking down, there was some chatter going on in the group right before we started talking. Shalene was just reminding everybody Guy Fawkes Day is coming up, which was a big deal for me when I was a little boy, but we don't really celebrate it here, so it kind of I tried to keep the traditions alive, but there are laws against using fireworks in your backyard in the city of Winnipeg, unfortunately. Now, what Adam did say when you were talking about the retro sound was that he said, I've never heard that said about me before. And there might be a reason for that. I mean, some of their influences are kind of they're a couple of decades old. We'll talk about that when we get to him, though. Oh, we do have Shalene has a comment. So, Dan Mangan, Troubled Mind. I have some of his CDs. This song is from 2018, but the lyrics are totally applicable for these times. Mangan said So Mangan said the struggle to maintain any kind of mental equilibrium in the day-to-day, as we are bombarded with fake news, sensationalized swipe culture, and increased access to the woes of the world. We are the voice of reason, or just the faintest sound. The song observes but does not preach.
Yeah.
And I think
you for that, Shalim. I actually listened to Dan in a couple of interviews, and he talked about how becoming a father had changed his attitude about a lot of things, and he's a lot more outspoken these days about things that he doesn't agree with, in terms of his position as a father and wanting a better world for his children. So I think that's reflected in this song as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was actually an interesting piece, because as you know, I like the. I'm a songwriter, lyricist. I like to go for that more poetic language. So initially, I'm trying to figure out what is this about, and I'm trying to find the narrative. Once I got past that, though, and actually like I said, the repetitive, simple lyrics work very, very well, particularly as they're coming very, 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 very quickly. So definitely worth checking out. And as last week, your pick, I had not heard of the musician then either. So yeah, someone else I've discovered through this process. So I'm definitely going to be checking him out some more as well. So I think that's a great song. I recommend it for everybody here. I'm not seeing any more comments, so maybe.